Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds. So today I wanted to talk to you about overeating. I feel like so many of us deal with overeating, like some of our favorite foods, and then like after the fact, you're like, oh my God, what do I do to kind of fix it, right? So over the years, I've learned just kind of little things that have really helped me not overeat as much. So anyway, today I want to share them with you. I have my little notes here because I'm notorious for like going off on a tangent, and I kind of want to stick to the 5 things that I feel like are super helpful. One of the things that has really helped me in the past and even right now, intermittent fasting is a huge tool that you can use. You can call it intermittent fasting. You can just talk about kind of like an eating window. The reason why it's so helpful is because, one, while you're not eating, your body is burning not only the food that you consume throughout the day, but then it also starts burning your own body fat. So that's obviously really helpful, right? We want our body to burn our own fat, extra food that we have stored in our body as fuel. But there's a ton of health benefits to fasting. And if you want to know a little bit more about fasting, like the actual nitty gritty of it, let me know, comment down below, and I'd be happy to talk a little bit about fasting. But fasting is really helpful because, one, we all do it. So don't be afraid of the word fasting. I feel like a lot of people are like, no, like I'm not gonna do it. Well, we all do it anyway. Like while you're sleeping, your body is actually fasting, which is why in the morning when you have breakfast, the word breakfast is like break fast, right? Like you're breaking your fast. So we all do it. It's just a matter of like extending that time frame a little bit more. And by doing that, you have like more control. I feel like for some people, when you are just kind of like free for all, like I can eat now and then I'll have some snacks and then I'll have some lunch and then I'll stop and get this and then a coffee, and then you've pretty much grazed and eaten all day long, which sure, it's fun to do that once in a while. To be honest, if you are someone who is trying to lose some weight or you're just trying to be like the healthiest version of yourself, grazing throughout the entire day is not the way to do it. So that'll help you not overconsume food because you basically, that's like a non-negotiable. You're like, I'm gonna stop eating at, let's just say for you, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock is what works for you. Then you're like, at 8 o'clock, I am done. It's like a non-negotiable. And then I feel like it's also a peace of mind because you're just like, I'm done. There's no snacking, there's no eating. You could drink water, you could drink tea, you could drink black coffee, but like in terms of food, you're done. So I feel that also really helps not overconsume food and not overconsume snacks. So if you've tried it, let me know if it's helpful for you. I know people love going through the comments and also just getting tips and tricks from you guys. Anyway, overall, intermittent fasting is really helpful. Now, another thing that I have here is lowering your carbs. So lowering your carbs is extremely helpful. I don't know how many of you have tried eating low carb, how many of you have tried eating keto or even like carnivore. I'm not gonna say it's like the easiest thing in the world. It probably takes a few days to adjust, but once you do, you feel the best you've ever felt. You have energy, you have like mental clarity. It's just like, there's so many benefits that once you start, you get like addicted to it. So what that does is when you lower your carbs, your glucose and your insulin level are stable. And so when your glucose and insulin are stable, you don't crave junky, carby, sugary food. And so lowering your carbs can mean just like cutting out, and you don't have to cut it out completely because you can find your favorite substitutes, but just overall, without going into too much detail, lower your carbs. I would say if you could go down to about 20 net carbs a day, you are good. Like it's gonna cut out so many cravings and so much of that like urge to just eat a lot. So that has been super helpful for me. I've done 20 net carbs. I've done 10 total net carbs, like not the net, but like total. And that's even more helpful. So this is not something that you do for like, oh, I'm gonna do it forever, because I feel like a lot of times when we think of these things, like you feel like it's a forever thing. And so that just seems so unrealistic. And you're like, it's such a turnoff, but no, not at all. You have to think of this as like a short-term sacrifice for like a long-term benefit. So I would say try it for like a week. So that just made me not crave anything other than real whole foods. Like not, I want a bag of chips, not like I want a little snack, like I wanted a meal. So that is super helpful. Like when you're having an issue with like eating too much or eating too much junk, I would say your glucose and your insulin is probably all over the place. And you really want to you really want to gain control over that, because it's just, it can lead into so many other issues. One of the things that you really always want to make sure is that your gut is just in a really healthy standing. Like I try to really take care of my gut, because before I used to have like a lot of cravings. Like I would crave like a lot of sugars and I would crave a lot of carbs. And so by lowering my carbs, eating whole foods, because remember the whole foods, like your body knows exactly what to do with it. When you're having processed junk, like your body, it's almost like a foreign object and it just tries to store it anywhere it can in your body. So when you're having whole foods, your body digests it. I feel like I would have a lot less cravings. I also incorporated a really high quality probiotic and prebiotic. So the one that I use is by Seed. I have it here. I just took it. This is the DS1 Symbiotic by Seed. It's actually a 2-in-1. So it's a capsule within a capsule, and it has both the pro and the prebiotic. It makes it all the way down into your colon. For me, it has made a world of a difference. So if you're someone that gets really bloated after you eat, if you're having just like a lot of issues with your digestion, those are cues that your body is giving you to really just focus on your gut, try to eat whole foods. Before I started taking Seed, I was having it was literally, hair was falling out. I was having dry patches all over my skin. So there was just like a lot going on. I made the changes with my food, and then of course I just incorporated a really high quality probiotic and prebiotic. So if you don't have one that you really love and trust, I will leave this one linked in the description below for you. So you can use my discount code, which is LCL25. You'll get 25% off on your entire order. So take advantage of that discount, because sometimes they'll do like a 15% discount, 20, but this month it's 25%. Now, another thing that is super helpful, and I don't know how many of you actually do this, but meal prepping, like prepping your meals in advance is also something that could really, really help you not overconsume food, because when you're packing it, don't do it while you're hungry. Okay, do not do it while you're hungry. If you do your meal prepping when you're hungry, you're gonna stuff extra food in there. The best time to do it is after you've had just a really good meal, you feel nice and satiated, and you're gonna be very realistic about the food that you're packing. I think that meal prepping not only saves time throughout the week, it also just helps you from going off track. Like for me, if I'm hungry, I am definitely one of those people that can get like kind of hangry, and it's usually because I don't have things prepped. When I have things prepped and I'm super hungry, I even prep my snacks. Like I love having like little cucumbers, even the little, those little sweet peppers. I put them in a little container, and then I have my sauces. So like I always have something I can snack on that's not gonna get me to go open up a box of cookies or a box of chips or things like that. But if you are having issues with like your portions and you're like, I'm just eating too much, I'm not losing weight, like why am I craving so much food? Then I would definitely say meal prepping is like your actual meals just for maybe about a week or so, just so you can see how much you're supposed to be eating, could be really, really helpful. Another tip that I have here is, it kind of goes hand in hand with the meal prepping, is leading with protein. Leading with protein is always gonna make you feel better. It's gonna make you feel more satiated. If you're someone that needs to eat big meals, like this is not gonna do it for you. You need to see a plate that looks full and just like so good. The only thing that I can tell you helped me so much in the past was incorporating a lot of vegetables. So remember, veggies are so good. They're like your best friend when you're trying to lose weight, because veggies are super high in fiber. They're full of vitamins and minerals, and they're just really, really good for you. And so when you incorporate your veggies, that is what adds bulk. Like it gives your plate bulk. Remember, proteins are always going to be smaller. They're more, it's more compact. Fats are even less. They're even smaller than proteins. So what gives you the fullness of your plate, just add those veggies. For me, I love salads. Like even if I'm not on a diet, even if I'm not trying to lose weight, like salads are probably, I don't know, 4 out of 5 times that I eat out, I'm ordering a salad. Just because I personally love them. I mean, you could literally do anything, but these are just some of the things that have really, really helped me out over the years to not overeat as much, to really get a hang and like control. I feel like once you start questioning like, why, like what's going on, like you mentally kind of feel like you've lost control, and everything that I'm talking about today, it's really just to kind of gain that control back and make you know that you're in control. Yeah, it's taken me many, many years. Trust me, I've been, I lost my weight over 15 years ago. And so sure, I've had my ups and downs. Like I've gained some weight. Like I said, just recently, I lost about 25 pounds. How? Going back to basics, going back to these things that I'm telling you about. I put together a little meal plan. So if you're still kind of lost, you don't really know where to start, you're like, okay, I love this, but like I'm still not 100% on how to do this, I have the meal plan. I'll leave it linked in the description below. Not only do I share kind of like a step-by-step, there's a ton of like recipes that are really, really helpful. So that has really helped me, just kind of going back to the basics. So the last thing that I will say, and this is something that most of you probably already know, but hydration. Hydration is so, so important. Now, if your body is confusing hunger for just being extremely dehydrated, you're gonna be snacky. You're gonna be wanting to like eat around. So you see all these girls with like their Stanley cup. I mean, I'm not saying go buy a Stanley, but just buy like a cute tumbler if you don't already have one. And I feel like having like a really cute tumbler will just kind of motivate you to drink throughout the day. Electrolytes, minerals, just try to keep your body hydrated. And that is another way to make sure that you're not overeating for the wrong reasons. Yeah, so those are just some of the tips that have worked for me. I hope they work for you. I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback on this. If these videos are helpful, let me know. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the little bell notification so that you're reminded every time I post a video, just like this one. And share this video, share my channel with friends and family that are either trying to live a low carb lifestyle, that are trying to lose some weight, that are maybe diabetic. All my recipes here on Low Carb Love are diabetic friendly as well. So share them with your family. But thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.